The game of chess has been around since the 1500s. The object of this popular game is to see whose army of 16 various pieces can kill the king of the other army. There are no points, no score. You don't even care how many pieces you lose, as long as your king lives and the other king dies. I think that the game of chess is quite an accurate way of looking at how life and war works even now. Each chess piece has its own particular way of moving on the board. Just like real life, people are born with different talents, abilities, and power. In the back row, you have a king or a president who is protected by his vast army. The queen and the other pieces in the back row are like the politicians and big business interests, which the poor, expendable, and brainwashed pawns defend with their lives. The king can only move one space at a time, but just like a politician, he can go in any direction he wants. The queen is really the most powerful piece, since she can move in any direction as far as she wants. Then there are two bishops who can only move diagonally, two knights with a wacky dogleg kind of move, and two rooks who can go only in straight lines. The poor pawns can only move forward by one or two spaces on their first move and one space at a time after that. They kill at an angle and they can't retreat. That's why pawns, just like soldiers, get slaughtered first. Now here's my idea for a better way to play this game. Instead of waging a traditional war where so many get killed, how about thinking outside the box? Suppose two pawns, one from each side, somehow get together over a beer and have a good talk. They both find out that each of them loved their country and has a wife and kids. Being in the army was just a job, and they really had no personal beef with the soldiers they were supposed to be killing. In a short time, they become good friends. And then they begin to feel that their life is just as important as the king's life. And besides, why should they be willing to die so that the bigwigs in the back row can continue to live their cushy life? And why should all the other pawns in their country be expected to do the same? What is the honor and glory in keeping rich people rich? And so they make a simple plan to take matters into their own hands and put an end to the actual cause of the war. Still outside the box, they return home, talk to some other pawns who are close to the king, and then, by utilizing some Mission Impossible techniques, they secretly take out their king and queen. With the loss of only 4 pieces, the game is over. The other folks in the back row will be shocked about this inside job and will be too afraid to wage any more wars. Along with the pawns, they simply elect a new king who will certainly not want to suffer the same fate as his predecessor. Now, isn't this a better way to end a conflict? You haven't destroyed the infrastructure of either country, and nearly everyone is still alive. I'm not a CPA, but I think that having 4 dead people is better than having 30 dead people. I also think that war only happens when leaders fail to avoid it. It's time to fire the leaders who can't keep us out of war and bring all of the soldiers home.